What's good, y'all? Tristan here, and today I'd like to share with you 10 things you shouldn't do when visiting Turkey. I've recently spent a good bit of time in Turkey and it has been absolutely incredible. It's so beautiful, the people are so amazing, and it has exceeded all expectations I had. But I quickly learned that there are some things you just shouldn't do here. So let's get right into them. Number one is when in Turkey, you shouldn't drink out of the tap. The tap water isn't always clean, not even most of the locals drink out of the tap. So to avoid getting sick while you're here, try not to drink the tap water. Number two, when you come to Turkey, you should not come on a diet. The food here is incredible. Everywhere you go when you're walking through the streets, you're gonna see shops, food places all over, and every single window you look in is gonna look so good. Every bit of Turkish cuisine that I see, I'm just like, oh, I want that. And oh, the sweets here are so good. You're gonna want some Turkish delights. You're just gonna want it all. So do yourself a favor and don't come on a diet. You know, just come in with the expectation that you're gonna gain 5 pounds in Turkey because, you know, it's gonna be worth it. The food is just so good. Number three, when you're in Turkey, don't forget to haggle. Don't forget to negotiate. This is especially true when you're in markets. Whatever price they initially say isn't the price that you should pay. I'm not talking if you go to some big established clothing store, like big business like that, but if you're in a market somewhere on the streets, somewhere like the Grand Bazaar, which I'm sure you'll go to when you're in Turkey, you got to negotiate. It's just how it's done there. That initial price is going to be too much, like you shouldn't be paying that much. So make sure you bargain with them and get yourself a good deal. Number four is don't expect to be understood by just speaking English. Not everyone in Turkey can speak English, and a lot of them that do, they speak very little of it. So you might have to bust out your Google Translate or something like that to help you communicate better. The biggest language issue I ran into when I was there was I was on a bus going to Cappadocia, and nowhere on my ticket did it say I was changing buses. So it was a night bus, it was like 3:30, 4 a.m, I'm sleeping, and they wake me up and they're like, get off the bus, and I'm like, but well, they weren't saying get off the bus because they didn't speak English. But it was very clear with them like grabbing my bag, trying to get me at the seat, that they were trying to get me off the bus. And I was like, no, like this is not Cappadocia. And I'm like pointing to my ticket like Cappadocia, and I was not understanding because none of them spoke English. And I wasn't informed that I was doing a bus change, so I had no idea what was going on. It was just a big deal, and thankfully there was one person on the bus that was able to speak enough English to tell me that I am going to Cappadocia, but I just need to change buses. But the two people working on the bus, no one sitting around me could speak English, and I wasn't about to just get off in some random city when that wasn't where I was supposed to go. And there were a couple other more minor things like this, but just know when going to Turkey, not everyone speaks English, so it's a good idea to learn some local phrases or just be prepared for it. And number five is don't forget to get ice cream when you're in Turkey. So you might have seen videos like this on Instagram or somewhere. The ice cream people like playing with the customers, you know, not giving them their ice cream, you know, you can't grab it. Well, that's in Turkey. So getting ice cream there is not just like getting ice cream in some typical place where you just get ice cream. It's a whole experience. It's really fun, especially if you have kids. You've got to do this. Even if you don't have kids, it's really fun. I loved it. The ice cream isn't necessarily like the best ice cream I've ever had. I mean, it's good, but it's just something you have to do for the experience. And next up is don't say no to a tea. Turkish people love their tea. They consume more tea per capita than any other country in the world. It's literally everywhere, but it's just a sign of like friendship, a good kind gesture to offer someone a tea. Saying no to a tea is having someone like wave to you all friendly and you just turn your back to them and, you know, don't wave back. And the next don't is don't drink all of your coffee. So Turkish coffee, they have the coffee grounds in the bottom of it. So if you try drinking every last drop, you're gonna get a bunch of like coffee grounds in you. So that, yeah, at the bottom there's just like a little bit of like mud looking stuff. Stop when you get there. Don't drink it all, but you should definitely try a Turkish coffee while you're there. Number 8, this applies anywhere, but particularly if you're visiting a mosque, is if there's somebody praying, don't walk right in front of them. It's just considered really rude. It's like getting in between them and them worshiping, so I don't know. If you have to pass them, just like, you know, walk behind. Also, when you're in Turkey, don't interrupt a Turkish person. It is considered really rude, more rude than it is in the States, and you just don't want to be a rude person, so yeah, do your best, don't interrupt them. And number 9 is when you're there, don't take taxis. One, public transportation there, especially in the big cities, is great. Like, it's really cheap, effective, probably going to be like 10 times cheaper than taking a cab. And 2, taxis there are known to scam tourists. So if you want to avoid the chance of getting scammed, just stick to public transport. If you have to take a taxi, make sure they do the meter price, like hit the meter thing. You don't want them just driving you someplace and then saying, yeah, 400 lira, and then you go, what? And they go, yeah, it's 400 lira, and you have nothing to back up, like you have to pay the 400. And number 10, this shouldn't come as too big of a surprise, but that is don't wear shorts or shoes when entering a mosque. It's irreverent and you should take off your shoes and have pants on. You might already know that, but something that you don't know is there are some shocking things about Turkey. Matter of fact, I made a list of 10 things that shocked me a lot about Turkey, and I'm gonna link that right over there. Also, if you plan on visiting Turkey, there are 10 things that you must know before you go. These are just things you need to know before you go to Turkey, and I'll link that video in the description below. Enjoy your trip to Turkey, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.